Hey guys, so this I've seen this going around YouTube and stuff like that. So this is something that it's pretty interesting. So you guys know mods, with game mods where you have the base game, the vanilla version, and you have all the data you've created and stuff like that, and you can inject it into the game, make some mod, inject it into the ROM, patch it in, and that's how we get many of the Zelda mods, they'll say, oh, you have to have the ROM and then a patcher, or they'll have a thing that does it for you. But it's like you gotta have a clean version of the ROM. Then you take the data and everything, and you put it with the base game, and you get your mod. This is a little different. So this is modded material, but it's not a mod. Rather, it's all vanilla basically, and it's being injected. All the modded data is being injected in real time. So basically, they're using TaskBot, which is tool assisted speed run. Um, and speed runs, obviously, I don't think need any kind of introduction. Um, but you can do certain speed runs. I think there's one like with Pokemon Red and Blue where you can pretty much start the game, do a certain amount of things, and then suddenly you're like fucking teleported to the Hall of Fame, which case you don't have any Pokemon and stuff, but you've beat the game. Some people try to beat the game normally, some people try, oh hey, you can use these glitches. But this is a mod being injected with the data in real time. Of course, this was July 1st, so it's over. But they pretty much made a showcase of certain things. Here you see the R Wing. Now the R Wing is in Ocarina of Time, in the data for Ocarina of Time, and it was used to kind of for the path of Volvagia. So when you see the R-Wing come out, it has the exact same introduction and the same flight routine as Volvagia does. And that's what it was used for. But the R-Wing also has the lasers in there. It has sound effects. When it crashes, it fucking blows up and burns. So it's really cool stuff. Um, I'm going to go through all the regular stuff. We're not going to watch it because this is fucking 58 minutes long. We're not going to watch it. But I'm going to try to skip through to all the injected stuff. But the ending we're going to watch, because if you're a Zelda fan, and if you're old like I am, the ending is something we've wanted to see in Ocarina of Time for ages. And I'm pretty sure if you're Zelda savvy, we've seen fake stuff on, Odyssey of Hyrule, Zelda's Secret Ocarina, several sites. But now we're getting to see it, what it would be in game. So, but we have a few things to go through. Let me just turn this down. Turn down for what? But here you see the R-Wing has the same exact flight pattern as the as Volvagia. It can shoot lasers, it flies around, it crashes and burns. As you can see, it shoots lasers. And boom, it crashes and burns. And again, this is in the game. It is this kind of thing you can do with Game Shark. If you have a game and a Game Shark, or if you have an emulator that has the Game Shark and the codes, you can do this. You can do it. Nothing is stopping you. Um, and then we have another one. We have this young fellow right here, this young Kokiri, who again, all the assets are in the game, but you never actually see him because he's a beta Kokiri. Well, doing certain things, they've managed to put him back in the game by doing certain, pathways and this and that, and it's injected him into the game. Now he says he wants a butterfly or a bug with wings, so a butterfly. Now, there is a butterfly in the game. Well, you see him flying around, but the butterfly that they're gonna get is, in a bottle, which back when it was being developed, you were apparently able to put the butterfly into a bottle. So more beta stuff that was, um, you know. So you talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't usually carry the bugs, but I'll go ahead and put them on the shelf for you." Har 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 har. Let me put one out for you. And as you can see, butterfly, pretty decent price, 35 rupees. That's a model that is in the game. So then they go back to the future. No. They go back, give him the butterfly. You get the magic powder. And then with the magic powder, they go see the Skull Kid. And Skull Kid will allow you to upgrade masks. The bunny hood and everything. Like what the bunny hood does in Majora's Mask, it'll let you run faster. Um, they do it with the Gerudo mask, which allows you to actually fool the Gerudo to think that you are one of them. You upgraded the Gerudo mask. And then from there, you go to also nice. Um, come on. You go to Naburu, who's sitting there waiting for her soup, it looks like. And then she will teach you the full song of time. Now, back in the beta, there was something in the game that kind of suggested that the Spirit Temple was not meant to be completed, you know, by Child Link, and then you have to leave and go back and as an adult, and where you would be able to switch on the fly from past to future and stuff like that in the temple itself. So they took that idea and did that with this two-sided dungeon. He'll take out the completed Song of Time. So she'll take out her instrument and she'll play the full Song of Time. And that will allow you to kind of switch when and where you want. Kind of like the if you guys have played Oracle of Ages, there's 3 songs you can learn, and one of them, it's kind of like this, where no matter where you are, you can just back and forth. So this allows you to just go to the past and from the past to future and future to past whenever you want. You don't have to go back to the Temple of Time and sword, which this is also part of the kind of rumor where they're like, oh, if you want to get the Triforce or something, you need to pull out, you have to be able to get to the Sacred Realm without pulling out the Master Sword, because you do that, Ganondorf kind of follows you in there, and so now you're gonna see what this does, because it's really cool. So you're in your Gerudo Valley as a child. They're gonna play it, and now suddenly you're an adult, and you are now in the adult version of Gerudo Valley, which is really, really cool. The Running Man. So the Running Man in the game, you can't beat him. You can freeze time, you can glitch it, you can do whatever. But no matter what, he's always going to beat you by 1 second. Even if the timer says 0000, he's always going to beat you by a second. And for the longest time, people were wondering, how the hell does this dude keep fucking beating me? It's like, I glitch time. Clearly you're faster than he is. But here, it's kind of a backstory, and they kind of give him a reason for why he's so fast. So you start off like you normally would. Challenges you to the race to go to the bridge in Kokiri Forest, the same bridge where in the main game, and instead they're going to travel back into time before the race even started. So they're gonna, you can see the thing is glitched because now they're 7 years in the past. So, but you can see the bunny hood, the same effect. Here's the Running Man before he even knew, met ya, really. So he makes his way to the bridge. They're gonna warp back to the future. See the timer clicking, ticking down, and you're there before the Running Man is. Now, but usually when you get there, he's in that position already. When you get there, he's already on the bridge, like, oh wow, you're fast, but I beat you by 1 second, and blah blah blah. And then he'll get up and leave. But here now, you're actually there before he is. And back in the day, people said, oh yeah, you get the Pegasus boots from him, which would have been really, really cool. Pegasus boots, have been in a few Zelda games, and they're really, really fun. I really would love to see how they would have translated to 3D. They also said, oh yeah, it leads you to the Triforce and this and that, but in reality, you were never meant to beat him. There's no data in the game to show that you were supposed to beat him. This is just something they injected, with the rumors. Some stuff they did was beta, some stuff were rumors, but it's just a showcase of what this thing can do when how all this stuff is being injected in real time. But he says he's got a prize for you. Now, the prize he's going to give you is actually a beta object. This is a giant pink rupee. Now, don't be fooled. Usually, what's the saying? When something's too good to be true, it usually is. Well, and that's what it actually does. You can get it to spawn in Kokiri Forest, and that's what it does. It explodes. So, like the saying goes, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. You see this big rupee in front of you, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to be fucking rich. And then it explodes in your face. Now, this is something they obviously made themselves. Now you get to fight the Running Man, which, he goes incredibly fast. It's really hard to hit him. It takes save states several, a little bit to beat the guy. But he finally does. He does this like Luigi thing into the ground. As you can see, that's like very much Luigi right there. You beat him, he slows down. I guess you're a better cheater than I am. So basically, he finds an item lying on the ground after, he was running around and he found this item on the ground. Must have dropped from someone fleeing town. So who was fleeing town? Zelda. Zelda had Impa. It's a golden locket. Basically lets him travel faster than light, which really doesn't make sense, but it's a game, so. I want it to be the fastest around. Nothing ever is gonna ever keep me down. You can have this. You obtain the Sage's Charm. This locket amplifies and enhances your magic power, the magic power of its wearer. And as you can see, it extends. Equip the Sage's offering to channel their power yourself. Now the next part. The Equippable medallions. Now, we had the beta restoration that just happened a couple months ago, where you were able to equip the medallions, and they each did something cool. Like the Spirit one lets you take control of Navi and fly all over. But this is what they were originally going to do. They were going to have effects. The Fire Medallion was going to be Din's Fire. When you go into the Shadow Temple in the very beginning, you see all the torches, and you see the pedestal in the middle. It has the Fire Medallion symbol. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to use Din's Fire. You were supposed to use the Fire Medallion. because the fire medallion had the effect of Din's fire. So, God. So, they're going to go over to Zora's River. So, try to imagine what they're going to be doing with the fire medallion. You go in here, it's frozen. Now, why do you think they're going to unfreeze? This is where another rumor came in. So, in the game, you go down here, and there's this little alcove right there. And normally, it's got a wall. You can't do anything. People thought maybe this led to a different part of Zora's domain. Maybe this was the original entrance where you come up. People thought there was Unicorn Fountain. Well, Unicorn Fountain. Now the thing with Unicorn Fountain is I remember Zelda Secret Ocarina and on the forums, and people were trying to figure out how to make it look, because there were several people trying to recreate this Unicorn Fountain, and I pointed out to them, and it's strange no one had noticed this. I said, well, if you look at Unicorn Fountain, it's just basically the fairy fountain from Majora's Mask. And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't notice that. So, I mean, I didn't make the fountain myself, but at least back then I had a hand in, the people at the time doing it. But you have Zora's domain, and then leading to Unicorn Fountain. You got the Ocarina pedestal, same thing, it's in the game. Now, you came here and they were like, oh, you can get the Triforce here, you can get the Beam Blade attack. Well, you're gonna get something here. And it's gonna be from another beta type object. So, you're gonna play the song, and out comes the Blue Fairy. This was the beta fairy. This was, you could see it in promotional stuff and things like that. And this was supposedly where they thought that it was probably going to be. But it was just kind of a beta fairy, so it's probably going to be, if they had multiple, like they do in the vanilla game or the release game, this was probably going to be like what you saw every single time. Same laugh and everything. But a very primitive looking, very crystalline kind of look. So now they're going to teach Link a song. The song is proof that the virtue and the final key is proof of the virtue and final key to the secret realm. The overture of sages. Now, for anyone who likes Zelda theories or is more like hoaxes, you'll realize and notice overture of sages from one of the best well-known Zelda hoaxes, where you had all these cool screenshots showing the Temple of Light and Link playing the Overture of Sages. Ariana Almondaz, forget how to pronounce the last name, but she created, or they actually, people don't know if it was actually a she, but they created all these cool looking screenshots, but then they kind of messed up with one of them, and Link's sword was on the wrong side. And they're like, oh, I don't know how that happened. But then they were like, oh yeah, I did all that shit on purpose to show how easily people can be fooled. And so Overture of Sages, not actually in the game, but another reference to, a hoax or theory, or whatever you want to call it. So he learns Overture of Sages. So the Overture of Sages will pretty much take you to the Sacred Realm once you stand in front of the Master Sword. Now, remember, how does Ganondorf get to the Sacred Realm in the first place? By when Link pulls out the Master Sword. But this song pretty much just takes you directly to the Temple of Light or the Chamber of Sages or Sacred Realm without you having to take the key with you. So, as you can see, he's still an adult Hyrule's still good because Ganondorf never gained power. But he's going to do the whole Play the Song of Time, Spiritual Stones. Gonna go in, the Master Sword. Gonna go in, play the Overture of Sages, warp to the Sacred Realm. Finally meets Rauru for the first time. Welcome, Link, I'm Rauru, the ancient sage of light. So the Overture of Sages not only was the final part of what he needed, but it also awakens the sages. So instead of having to go around to all the temples and awaken them that way, they're just awakened now from the tune of Overture of Sages. I really like this part, how that leads to different platforms. You get to see all the sages. Link, the promise I made to you stays true. I will always be your friend. And then each one you go up, like this one's Darunia, the next one's going to be Rudo. The bond between the Goron race and the royal family is rock solid. Let's go, brother. I knew the hero would turn out to be a handsome man. Once this is all over, you must come visit me, alright? Nabooru, my favorite. Nice work. It looks like our song worked for you. From all the Gerudos, you have our support. Step on me, mommy. Impa, undoubtedly you are the boy from the forest that appeared in Princess Zelda's dreams. I'm glad my charm found its way into your hands. So it's revealed that the charm that you got was actually Impa's charm. And then finally, Link, the great hero of time, the one with the 3 virtues of courage, power, and wisdom in balance in your heart. The one with the ability to bend and shift time itself. In this reality, we have only just met. Yet we have known each other in ages past, and surely in other timelines of the present. I sense that our destiny is about to change forever, but I trust that you'll always use your strengths to protect Hyrule. Are you ready, Link? Are you Zelda? Are you a boy or girl? Link, this isn't the time for nonsense. Of course I'm a boy. Let's not keep everyone waiting. Okay, so are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. Just the look of that door should tell you everything that you're about to see. And they kind of... I'm going to stop that right there, and I'm going to actually turn up the sound and let you just enjoy this, because it is... This room, what you're about to see, this room has been shown in pre-release footage, and this room is so iconic. So, I'm going to turn it up. I think you'll hear them talking, possibly, but without further ado...
Unmodified copy of Ocarina of Time, and this is a real original N64. We haven't modified anything about the game in advance. All we've done is press buttons on 4 controllers very quickly and very precisely with the help of TaskBot. So this really is vanilla Ocarina of Time, just with a lot of glitches, and a lot of very careful building on those glitches to create everything you're seeing here. Folks, enjoy. So as you may have guessed by now, this run actually is not called Ocarina of Time Beta Showcase. The true name of this run is Triforce %, because this is how to actually get the Triforce in Ocarina of Time. But that isn't quite the end of the run. We have a bit more to show you today. Please take a look at this. So what do you think we should wish for?
Well, King of Hyrule is a lot of responsibility. Rupees, I gotta tell you, folks, I think you should be giving your rupees to Doctors Without Borders instead.
So, shout out to Doctors Without Borders, of course. So what do you think, folks? Should we see the future? By the way, this is in-engine.
This is not a video. This is the N64.
All right, everyone, type "here together" in the chat.
Now is a fantastic time to subscribe. Don't forget, you can gift sub people. If you are subscribed, type "here together" in the chat, or just try a few emotes that are really popular.
Okay.
Thank you, Link, for all you have done for us.
ゼルダ姫、ありがとう。一緒に未来を作りましょう。
Okay, so then it goes on to show the credits, and then the final thing we see, if it loads, come on. No. This. And that, after 23 fucking years, the Triforce has finally been obtained in Ocarina of Time. Just the fact that the room is a perfect recreation. And actually, hang on. So here is the in-game one that they did. And that was based on this. As you can see, it's a little darker. But the room has been recreated perfectly. You got the chest right there. You have the Triforce. A lot more illuminated than what we see right here. But it is essentially, it's the room. Actually, I'm going to show the actual footage. So hang on, let me pull that up real fast. Okay, so I think there's other footage of this, but it's late and I'm not going to look for it, but this is the footage that it was based on. So, as you can see, it's a bit different. In here, it looks like Link is like crawling to the Triforce, but you can see the chest. It's a kind of like a dome-shaped chest at the top, a little different than the normal shaped, where you know you've got, it's kind of like an arch, and it, I mean, it doesn't look like a normal. It looks like it's kind of got some weird side right there, but it's more rounded. Like I said, more like it's a half of a sphere that they slapped on top. But yeah, it looks like he's kind of like crawling up to it, like really slowly. In the footage, he just kind of like flat out like walks to it. But it's the same idea. That is what it was based on. But you can see the chest that they did, same thing, the dome look to it. It doesn't look like a traditional chest in Ocarina of Time. But yeah, this was first thought to be the Sky Temple because of all of this down there. It looks like the clouds. It's actually water. All this texture and stuff was made from. This was when the engine was still running on the Super Mario 64 engine, so all the textures are pretty much from that. But they recreated it perfectly in this. I wish it was a little darker, and I wish we had more illumination when it came to the Triforce coming out. But I mean, they did it. We now have the Triforce obtained after so many years of trying to. Now, they said for whatever reason, they said for legal reasons, they can't make this into a mod, which I don't see why not, considering they've actually modded stuff with the actual beta material. I mean, I played through the stuff with the beta stuff material, so I don't know why they can't make this into a mod. But they have released the assets, they released the room and all that other stuff, so that way for modders, they can take it and put it into their projects. So hopefully I'll be able to play a version of this game where this is possible, where, except without all the tricks and glitches and stuff, being able to just play from beginning to end, and this being the outcome, obviously without, the future thing, but you know, having three options like King of Hyrule, King, and this and that, but or you know, different options like I want to be a god. That means you can't, you know, don't die or something like that. But I would love to play a game beginning to end and end up in this room. I would love that. But yeah, this is what they did. Again, this was no modded game. This was data being injected into the game in real time with certain inputs and with the help of TaskBot. And so it's crazy what they've managed to do with this. And I love the fact that they've added the beta stuff. They've added things that were hoaxes and theorized to be true, and just a whole mix match of things. But the main part being the Triforce. Like I said, if you're a Zelda fan, this is, especially you if you're old like me and you remember this room, you'll remember seeing this screenshot and saying, "How the fuck do I get there?" Well, they made it possible. So hopefully a mod comes out soon enough with this stuff. But yeah, Zelda fans, it's a great day to be a Zelda fan. It's pretty sad that the fans had to do what Nintendo should have done from the beginning, but yeah, I hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that, the ending. As a Zelda fan, it makes you know, gets you emotional. Um but yeah, there's, you can come see it on this one, or just type in Triforce percent and you'll get a whole list. You'll see one without commentary and stuff like that. So if you want to watch the whole run for yourself, it's only 58 minutes. But I preferred this one because they were kind of explaining what they were doing, even though I didn't have the volume up. For me, this is the one I watched because they were explaining what they were doing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to watch it again at your own leisure, without my commentary and all that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.